If, about, to be born as a male, the feeling of itself being a male dawneth upon the knower. N.A. Feeling of intense hatred towards the father and of jealousy and attraction towards the mother is begotten. If, about, to be born as a female, the feeling of itself being a female dawneth upon the knower, and a feeling of intense hatred towards the mother and of intense attraction and fondness towards the father is begotten. Through this secondary cause, when, entering upon the path of ether, just at the moment when the sperm and the ovum are about to unite, the knower experienceth the bliss of the simultaneously born state, during which state it fainteth away into unconsciousness. Afterwards, it findeth itself encased in oval form, in the embryonic state. And upon emerging from the womb and opening its eyes, it may find itself transformed into a young dog. Formerly it had been a human being. But now if it had become a dog, it findeth itself undergoing sufferings in a dog's kennel, or, perhaps, as a young pig in a pigsty, or as an ant in an ant-hill, or as an insect, or a grub in a hole, or as a calf, or a kid, or a lamb, from which shape there is no immediate returning. Dumbness, stupidity, and miserable intellectual obscurity are suffered, and a variety of sufferings experienced. In like manner, one may wander into hell, or into the world of unhappy ghosts, or throughout the 6 lokas, and endure inconceivable miseries. Those who are voraciously inclined towards this, i.e., samsaric existence, or those who do not at heart fear it, O dreadful! O dreadful! Alas, and those who have not received a guru's teachings will fall down into the precipitous depths of the sangsara in this manner, and suffer interminably and unbearably. Rather than meet with the like fate, listen thou unto my words and bear these teachings of mine at heart. Reject the feelings of attraction or repulsion. And remember one method of closing the womb door, which I am going to show to thee. Close the womb door and remember the opposition. This is the time when earnestness and pure love are necessary. As hath been said, abandon jealousy, and meditate upon the Guru Father Mother. As above explained, if to be born as a male, attraction towards the mother and repulsion towards the father, and if to be born as a female, attraction towards the father and repulsion towards the mother, together with a feeling of jealousy, for one or the other, which ariseth, will dawn upon thee. For that time there is a profound teaching. O nobly born, when the attraction and repulsion arise, meditate as follows. 44 Alas! What a being of evil karma am I! That I have wandered in the samsara hitherto, hath been owing to attraction and repulsion. If I still go on feeling attraction and repulsion, then I shall wander in endless samsara and suffer in the ocean of misery for a long, long time, by sinking therein. Now I must not act through attraction and repulsion. Alas, for me! Henceforth I will never act through attraction and repulsion. Meditating thus, resolve firmly that thou wilt hold on to that resolution. It hath been said, in the Tantras, the door of the womb will be closed up by that alone. O nobly born, be not distracted. Hold thy mind one-pointedly upon that resolution. The 4th method of closing the womb door. Again, even if that doth not close the womb, and one findeth oneself ready to enter the womb, then, by means of the teaching, called the untrue and the illusory, the womb should be closed. That is to be meditated as follows. Oh, the pair, the father and the mother, the black rain, the storm blasts, the clashing sounds, the terrifying apparitions, and all the phenomena are, in their true nature, illusions. Howsoever they may appear, no truth is there in them, all substances are unreal and false. Like dreams and like apparitions. Are they are non-permanent, they have no fixity. What advantage is there in being attached to them? What advantage is there in having fear and terror of them? It is the seeing of the non-existent as the existent. All these are hallucinations of one's own mind. The illusory mind itself doth not exist. From eternity, therefore, where should these external phenomena exist? By not having understood these things in that way hitherto, have held the non-existent to be the existent, the unreal to be the real, the illusory to be the actual, and have wandered in the samsara so long. And even now, if I do not recognize them to be illusions, then, wandering in the samsara for long ages, I shall be certain to fall into the morass of various miseries. Indeed, all these are like dreams, like hallucinations, like echoes, like the cities of the odor eaters, like mirage, like mirrored forms, like phantasmagoria, like the moon seen in water, not real even for a moment. In truth, they are unreal, they are false. By holding one pointedly to that train of thought, the belief that they are real is dissipated, and that, being impressed upon the inner continuity of consciousness, one turneth backwards. If the knowledge of the unreality be impressed deeply in that way, the womb door will be closed. The fifth method of closing the womb door, still, even when this is done. If the holding phenomena as real remaineth undissolved, the womb door is not closed, and, if one be ready to enter into the womb, thereupon one should close the womb door by meditating upon the clear light, this being the fifth method. The meditation is performed as follows: Lo! All substances are mine own mind, and this mind is vacuousness, is unborn and unceasing. 45. Thus meditating, allow the mind to rest in the uncreated state, like, for example, the pouring of water into water. The mind should be allowed its own easy mental posture, in its natural, or unmodified, condition, clear and vibrant. By maintaining this relaxed, uncreated state of mind, the womb doors of the four kinds of birth are sure to be closed. Meditate thus until the closing is successfully accomplished. Instructions to the officiant. Many very profound teachings for closing the womb door have been given above. It is impossible that they should not liberate people of the highest, the average, and the lowest intellectual capacity. If it be asked why this should be so, it is because, firstly, the consciousness in the bardo possessing supernormal power of perception of a limited kind, whatever is spoken to one then is apprehended. Secondly, because, although, formerly, deaf or blind, here, at this time, all one's faculties are perfect, and one can hear whatever is addressed to one. Thirdly, being continually pursued by awe and terror, one thinketh what is best. And, being alertly conscious, one is always coming to hear whatever may be told to one. Since the consciousness is without a prop, it immediately goeth to whatever place the mind directeth. Fourthly, it is easy to direct it. The memory is ninefold more lucid than before. Even though stupid, before, at this time, by the workings of karma, the intellect becometh exceedingly clear and capable of meditating whatever is taught to it. Hence the answer is, it is because it, i.e. the knower, possesseth these virtues. That the performance of funeral rites should be efficacious is, likewise, because of that reason. Therefore, the perseverance in the reading of the great Bardo Thodol for 49 days is of the utmost importance. Even if not liberated at one setting face to face, one ought to be liberated at another. This is why so many different settings face to face are necessary. The choosing of the womb door. Instructions to the officiant. There are, nevertheless, many classes of those who, though reminded and instructed to direct their thoughts one-pointedly, are not liberated, owing to the great force of evil karmic obscurations, and because of being unaccustomed to pious deeds, and of being much accustomed to impious deeds throughout the eons. Therefore, if the womb door hath not been closed ere this, a teaching also for the selection of a womb door is going to be given hereinafter. Now, invoking the aid of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, repeat the refuge, and, once more calling the deceased by name thrice, speak as follows: O nobly born, so-and-so, listen. Although the above setting face-to-face teachings have been given one-pointedly, yet thou hast not understood them. Therefore, if the womb door hath not been closed, it is almost time to assume a body. Make thy selection of the womb, according to this best teaching. Listen attentively, and hold it in mind. The premonitory visions of the place of rebirth, O nobly born, now the signs and characteristics of the place of birth will come. Recognize them. In observing the place of birth, choose the continent too. If to be born in the eastern continent of Lipa, a lake adorned with swans, male and female, floating thereon, will be seen. Go not there. Recollect the revulsion against going there. If one goeth there, that continent, though endowed with bliss and ease, is one wherein religion doth not predominate. Therefore, enter not therein. 46. If to be born in the southern continent of Jambu, grand delightful mansions will be seen. Enter therein, if one is to enter. If to be born in the western continent of Balanchad, a lake adorned with horses, male and female, grazing on its shores, will be seen. Go not even there, but return here. Although wealth and abundance are there, that being a land wherein religion doth not prevail, enter not there. If to be born in the northern continent of Dominion, a lake adorned with male and female cattle, grazing on its shores, or trees, round about it, will be seen. Although duration of life and merits are there, yet that continent, too, is one wherein religion doth not predominate. Therefore enter not. These are the premonitory signs, or visions, of the taking rebirth in those continents. Recognize them. Enter not. If one is to be born as a deva, delightful temples, or mansions, built of various precious metals also will be seen. One may enter therein, so enter therein. If to be born as an Asura, either a charming forest will be seen or else circles of fire revolving in opposite directions. Recollect the revulsion, and do not enter therein by any means. If to be born amongst beasts, rock caverns and deep holes in the earth and mists will appear. Enter not therein. If to be born amongst pretas, desolate treeless plains and shallow caverns, jungle glades and forest wastes will be seen. If one goeth there, taking birth as a preta, one will suffer various pangs of hunger and thirst. Recollect the revulsion, and do not go there by any means. Exert great energy, not to enter therein. If to be born in hell, songs, like wailings, due to evil karma, will be heard. One will be compelled to enter therein unresistingly. Lands of gloom, black houses, and white houses, and black holes in the earth, and black roads along which one hath to go, will appear. If one goeth there, one will enter into hell, and, suffering unbearable pains of heat and cold, one will be very long in getting out of it. Go not there into the midst of that. It hath been said, exert thine energy to the utmost. This is needed now. The protection against the tormenting furies, O nobly born, although one liketh it not, nevertheless. Being pursued from behind by karmic tormenting furies, one feeleth compelled involuntarily to go on, and with tormenting furies in the front, and life cutters as a vanguard leading one, and darkness and karmic tornadoes, and noises and snow and rain and terrifying hailstorms and whirlwinds of icy blasts occurring, there will arise the thought of fleeing from them. Thereupon, by going to seek refuge because of fear, one beholdeth the aforesaid visions of great mansions, rock caverns, earth caverns, jungles, and lotus blossoms which close, on entering them. And one escapeth by hiding inside one of such places, and fearing to come out therefrom, and thinking, to go out is not good now, and fearing to depart therefrom, one will feel greatly attracted to one's place of refuge, which is the womb. Fearful lest, by going out, the awe and terror of the Bardo 47 will meet one, and afraid to encounter them, if one hid oneself within the place or womb chosen. 1. Will thereby assume a very undesirable body and suffer various sufferings. That condition is an indication that evil spirits and Rakshasas, or demons, are interfering with one. For this time there is a profound teaching. Listen, and heed it. At that time, when the tormenting furies will be in pursuit of thee, and when awe and terror will be occurring, instantaneously visualize either the Supreme Haruka, or Hayagriva, or Vajrapani, or any other tutelary deity if thou hast such, perfect of form, huge of body, of massive limbs, wrathful and terrifying in appearance, capable of reducing to dust all mischievous spirits. Visualize it instantaneously. The gift waves and the power of its grace will separate thee from the tormenting furies, and thou wilt obtain the power to select the womb door. This is the vital art of the very profound teaching, therefore bear it thoroughly well in mind. O nobly born! The Dhyani and other deities are born of the power of sandhi, or meditation. Pretas, or unhappy spirits or shades, and malignant spirits of certain orders are those who by changing their feeling, or mental attitude, while in the intermediate state assumed that very shape which they thereafter retained, and became pretas, evil spirits, and Rakshasas, possessed of the power of shape shifting. All pretas, who exist in space, who traverse the sky, and the 80,000 species of mischievous sprites, have become so by changing their feelings, while, in the mental body, on the Bardoplam. At this time, if one can recollect the great symbol, teachings, concerning the voidness, that will be best. If one be not trained in that, train the mental powers into regarding all things as illusion, or Maya. Even if this be impossible, be not attracted by anything. By meditating upon the tutelary deity, the great compassionate one, Buddhahood will be obtained in the Sambhogic Daya. The alternative choosing, supernormal birth, or womb birth. If, however, O nobly born, thou hast, because of the influence of karma, to enter into a womb, the teaching for the selection of the womb door will be explained now. Listen. Do not enter into any sort of womb which may become by. If compelled by tormenting furies to enter, meditate upon Hayagriva. Since thou now possesseth a slender supernormal power of foreknowledge, all the places of birth will be known to thee, one after another. Choose accordingly. There are two alternatives: the transference of the consciousness principle to a pure Buddha realm, and the selection of the impure samsaric womb door, to be accomplished as follows: supernormal birth by transference to a paradise realm. In the first, the transference to a pure paradise, the projection is directed by thinking or meditating. Thus, 48. Alas! How sorrowful it is that I, during all the innumerable kalpas since illimitable, beginningless time, until now, have been wandering in the quagmire of Sangstra. Lo, how painful that I have not been liberated into Buddhahood by knowing the consciousness to be the self hitherto ere this. Now doth this Sangstra disgust me, horrify me, sicken me, no hath the hour come to prepare to flee from it. I myself will so act as to be born in the happy Western realm, at the feet of the Buddha Amitba, miraculously from amidst a lotus blossom. Thinking thus, direct the resolution, or wish, earnestly, to that realm, or, likewise, to any realm thou mayst desire, the preeminently happy realm, or the thickly formed realm, or the realm of those of long hair, or the illimitable vihara of the lotus radiance, in Urjian's presence. Or direct thy wish to any realm which thou desirest most, in undistracted one-pointedness of mind. By doing so, birth will take place in that realm instantaneously. Or, if thou desirest to go to the presence of Maitreya, in the Tushita heavens, by directing in earnest wish in like manner and thinking, I will go to the presence of Maitreya in the Tushita heavens, for the hour hath struck for me here in the intermediate state. Birth will be obtained miraculously inside a lotus blossom in the presence of Maitreya. Womb birth, the return to the human world, if, however, such a supernormal birth be not possible, and one delighteth in entering a womb or hath to enter. There is a teaching for the selection of the womb door of impure Sangstra. Listen. Looking with thy supernormal power of foresight over the continents, as above, choose that in which religion prevaileth and enter therein. If birth is to be obtained over a heap of impurities, a sensation that it is sweet-smelling will attract one towards that impure mass, and birth will be obtained thereby. Whatsoever they, the wombs or visions, may appear to be, do not regard them as they are, or seem, and by not being attracted or repelled a good womb should be chosen. In this, too, since it is important to direct the wish, direct it thus: I ought to take birth as a universal emperor, or as a Brahmin, like a great Saltri, or as the son of an adept in Siddhic powers, or in a spotless hierarchical line, or in the caste of a man who is filled with religious faith, and, being born so, be endowed with great merit so as to be able to serve all sentient beings. Thinking thus, direct thy wish, and enter into the womb. At the same time, emit thy gift waves of grace, or goodwill, upon the womb which thou art entering, transforming it thereby into a celestial mansion. And believing that the conquerors and their sons, or bodhisattvas, of the 10 directions, and the tutelary deities, especially the great compassionate one, are conferring power therein, pray unto them, and enter the womb. 49. In selecting the womb door thus, there is a possibility of error, through the influence of karma. Good wombs may appear bad and bad wombs may appear good. Such error is possible. At that time, too, the art of the teaching being important, thereupon do as follows. Even though a womb may appear good, do not be attracted; if it appear bad, have no repulsion towards it. To be free from repulsion and attraction, or from the wish to take or to avoid, to enter in the mood of complete impartiality, is the most profound of arts. Excepting only for the few who have had some practical experience in psychical development, it is difficult to get rid of the remnants of the disease of evil propensities. Instructions to the officiant, therefore, if unable to part with the attraction and repulsion, those of the least mentality and of evil karma will be liable to take refuge amongst brutes. The way to repel therefrom is to call the deceased by name again, thus: O nobly born, if thou art not able to rid thyself of attraction and repulsion, and know not the art of selecting the womb door, whichever of the above visions may appear, call up on the precious Trinity, and take refuge therein. Pray unto the great compassionate one. Walk with thy head erect. Know thyself in the bardo. Cast away all weakness and attraction towards thy sons and daughters or any relations left behind thee; they can be of no use to thee. Enter upon the white light path of the devas, or upon the yellow light path of human beings. Enter into the great mansions of precious metals and into the delightful gardens. Instructions to the officiant: repeat that address to the deceased 7 times over. Then there should be offered the invocation of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the path of good wishes giving protection from fears in the bardo, the root words, or verses, of the bardo, and the rescuer, or path of good wishes for saving, from the ambuscades, or dangerous narrow passageway, of the bardo. These are to be read over thrice. The tadal, which liberateth the body aggregate, should also be read out. Then the right which conferreth of itself liberation in virtue of propensity should be read too. The general conclusion: by the reading of these properly, those devotees, or yogis, who are advanced in understanding can make the best use of the transference at the moment of death. They need not traverse the intermediate state, but will depart by the great straight upward path. Others who are a little less practiced in things spiritual, recognizing the clear light in the Coniad Bardo at the moment of death, will go by the upward course. Those lower than these will be liberated, in accordance with their particular abilities and karmic connections, when one or other of the peaceful and wrathful deities dawneth upon them, during the succeeding 2 weeks, while in the Coniad Bardo. There being several turning points, liberation should be obtained at one or other of them through recognizing. But those of very weak karmic connections, whose massive obscuration is great, because of evil actions, have to wander downwards and downwards to the Sidpa Bardo. Yet since there are, like the rungs of a ladder, many kinds of settings face to face, or remindings, liberation should have been obtained at one or at another by recognizing. But those of the weakest karmic connections, by not recognizing, fall under the influence of awe and terror. For them, there are various graded teachings. For closing the womb door and for selecting the womb door, and, at one or other of these, they should have apprehended the method of visualization and applied the illimitable virtues thereof, for 50 exalting one's own condition. Even the lowest of them, resembling the brute order, will have been able, in virtue of the application of the refuge, to turn from entering into misery, and obtaining the great boon of a perfectly endowed and freed human body, will, in the next birth, meeting with a guru who is a virtuous friend, obtain the saving vows. If this doctrine arrive, while one is in the Sidpa Bardu, it will be like the connecting up of good actions, resembling, thus, the placing of a trough in the break of a broken drain, such as this teaching. Those of heavy evil karma cannot possibly fail to be liberated by hearing this doctrine, and recognizing. If it be asked, why? It is because, at that time, all the peaceful and wrathful deities being present to receive, 1. And the Maras and the interrupters likewise coming to receive, 1, along with them. The mere hearing of this doctrine then turneth one's views, and liberation is obtained. 4. There is not flesh and blood body to depend upon, but a mental body, which is easily affected. At whatever distance one may be wandering in the bardo, one heareth and cometh. For one possesseth the slender sense of supernormal perception and foreknowledge, and recollecting and apprehending. Instantaneously, the mind is capable of being changed or influenced. Therefore is it, i.e., the teaching, of great use here. It is like the mechanism of a catapult. It is like the moving of a big wooden beam or log, which 100 men cannot carry, but which by being floated upon water can be towed wherever desired in a moment. It is like the controlling of a horse's mouth by means of a bridle. Therefore, going near the body of one who hath passed out of this life, if the body be there, impress this upon the spirit of the deceased vividly, again and again, until blood and the yellowish water secretion begin to issue from the nostrils. At that time the corpse should not be disturbed. The rules to be observed for this, impressing to be efficacious, are, no animal should be slain on account of the deceased, nor should relatives weep or make mournful wailings near the dead body. Let the family perform virtuous deeds as far as possible. In other ways, too, this great doctrine of the Bardo Thodol, as well as any other religious texts, may be expounded to the dead or dying. If this doctrine be joined to the end of the guide and recited along with the guide, it becometh very efficacious. In yet other ways it should be recited as often as possible. The words and meanings should be committed to memory by everyone, and when death is inevitable and the death symptoms are recognized, strength permitting, one should recite it oneself, and reflect upon the meanings. If strength doth not permit, then a friend should read the book and impress it vividly. There is no doubt as to its liberating. The doctrine is one which liberateth by being seen, without need of meditation or of sadhana. This profound teaching liberateth by being heard or by being seen. This profound teaching liberateth those of great evil karma through the secret pathway. One should not forget its meaning and the words, even though pursued by 7 mastiffs. By this select teaching, one obtaineth Buddhahood at the moment of death. Were the Buddhas of the 3 times, the past, the present, and the future, to seek, they could not find any doctrine transcending this. Thus is completed the profound heartdrops of the Bardo doctrine, called the Bardo Thodol, which liberateth embodied beings. 51. Here in death the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the appendix, in our manuscript, but not in the block print, directly following the text of the Bardo Thodol, there are 13 folios of rituals and prayers, lit, paths of good wishes, which all professional readers of the Bardo Thodol must know, usually from memory, and apply as needed, and they are here rendered into English as follows. The invocation of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Instructions to the officiant, the invoking of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for assistance, when anyone is dying, is, thus, offer up to the Trinity whatever actual offerings can be offered, by the dying person, or by his family, together with mentally created offerings, and, holding in the hand sweet-smelling incense, repeat, with great fervency, the following. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding in the 10 directions, endowed with great compassion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with the divine eye, endowed with love, affording protection to sentient beings, condescend through the power of your great compassion to come hither. Condescend to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. O ye compassionate ones, ye possess the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds and of protecting in incomprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such a person is passing from this world to the world beyond. He is leaving this world. He is taking a great leap. No friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defenders, without protectors, without forces and kinsmen. The light of this world hath set. He goeth to another place. He entereth thick darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle solitude. He is pursued by karmic forces. He goeth into the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted on the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction where stability existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great afflicting spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messengers of the Lord of Death. Existing karma putteth him into repeated existence. No strength hath he. He hath come upon a time when he hath to go alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so and so, who is defenseless. Protect him who is unprotected. Be his forces and his kinsmen. Protect him from the great gloom of the bardo. Turn him from the red, or storm, wind of karma. Turn him from the great awe and terror of the lords of death. Save him from the long narrow passageway of the bardo. O ye compassionate ones, let not the force of your compassion be weak, but aid him. Let him not go into misery, or the miserable states of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the force of your compassion be weak. 52 O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let not the might of the method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch hold of him with the hook of your grace. Let not the sentient being fall under the power of evil karma. O ye Trinity, protect him from the miseries of the bardo. Saying this with great humility and faith, let thyself and all others present repeat it thrice. 2. The path of good wishes for saving from the dangerous narrow passageway of the bardo one is as follows. 1. O ye conquerors and your sons, abiding in the 10 directions. O ye ocean-like congregation of the all-good conquerors, the peaceful and the wrathful, O ye gurus and devas, and ye Daikantiyas, the faithful ones. Hearken now out of your great love and compassions, obeisance, O ye assemblage of gurus and Daikantiyas, out of your great love, lead us along the path. 2. When, through illusion, I and others are wandering in the samsara. Along the bright light path of undistracted listening, reflection, and meditation, may the gurus of the inspired line lead us, may the bands of mothers be our rear guard. May we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 3. When, through violent anger, we are wandering in the samsara. Along the bright light path of the mirror-like wisdom, may the Bhagwan Vajrasattva lead us, may the Mother Mamakkal be our rear guard, may we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 4. When, through intense pride, we are wandering in the samsara, along the bright light path of the wisdom of equality, may the Bhagwan Ratnasambhava lead us, may the Mother, she of the Buddha, be our rear guard. 53. May we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 5. When, through great attachment, we are wandering in the samsara. Along the bright light path of the discriminating wisdom, may the Bhagwan Amitba lead us, may the Mother, she of white raiment, be our rear guard, may we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 6. When, through intense jealousy, we are wandering in the samsara, along the bright light path of the all-performing wisdom, may the Bhagwan Amoga Siddhi lead us, may the Mother, the faithful Tara, be our rear guard, may we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 7. When, through intense stupidity, we are wandering in the samsara, along the bright light path of the wisdom of reality, may the Bhagwan Vairocana lead us, may the Mother of great space be our rear guard, may we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 8. When, through intense illusion, we are wandering in the samsara. Along the bright light path of the abandonment of hallucinatory fear, awe, and terror, may the Bhagwans of the wrathful ones lead us. May the bands of the wrathful goddesses rich in space be our rear guard, may we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 9. When, through intense propensities, we are wandering in the samsara. Along the bright light path of the simultaneously born wisdom, may the knowledge holders lead us, may the bands of the mothers, the Kintias, be our rear guard, may we be saved from the fearful narrow passageway of the bardo, may we be placed in the state of the perfect Buddhahood. 54. 10. May the ethereal elements not rise up as enemies, may it come that we shall see the realm of the blue Buddha. May the watery elements not rise up as enemies, may it come that we shall see the realm of the white Buddha. May the earthy elements not rise up as enemies, may it come that we shall see the realm of the yellow Buddha. May the fiery elements not rise up as enemies, may it come that we shall see the realm of the red Buddha. May the airy elements not rise up as enemies, may it come that we shall see the realm of the green Buddha. May the elements of the rainbow colors not rise up as enemies, may it come that all the realms of the Buddhas will be seen. May it come that all the sounds, in the bardo, will be known as one's own sounds. May it come that all the radiances will be known as one's own radiances. May it come that the Trikaya will be realized in the bardo. Here beginneth the root verses of the 6 Bardasu. 1. O now, when the birthplace bardo upon me is dawning. Abandoning idleness, there being no idleness in a devotee's life, entering into the reality undistractedly, listening, reflecting, and meditating. Carrying on to the path, knowledge of the true nature of appearances and of mind, may the Trikaya be realized, once that the human form hath been attained. May there be no time or opportunity in which to idle it, or human life, away. 2. O now, when the dream bardo upon me is dawning. Abandoning the inordinate corpse-like sleeping of the sleep of stupidity, may the consciousness undistractedly be kept in its natural state, grasping the true nature of dreams, may I train myself in the clear light of miraculous transformation, acting not like the brutes in slothfulness. May the blending of the practicing of the sleep state and actual, or waking, experience be highly valued by me. 3:55 Now, when the Didna bar due upon me is dawning. Abandoning the whole mass of distractions and illusions, may the mind be kept in the mood of endless undistracted samdhi. May firmness both in the visualizing and in the perfected stages be obtained. At this time, when meditating one-pointedly, with all other actions put aside, may I not fall under the power of misleading, stupefying passions. 4. Oh now, when the bardo of the moment of death upon me is dawning. Abandoning attraction and craving, and weakness for all worldly things, may I be undistracted in the space of the bright, enlightening teachings. May I be able to transfuse myself into the heavenly space of the unborn. The hour hath come to part with this body composed of flesh and blood. May I know the body to be impermanent and illusory. 5. Oh now, when the bardo of the reality upon me is dawning, abandoning all awe, fear, and terror of all phenomena, may I recognize whatever appeareth as being mine own thought forms. May I know them to be apparitions in the intermediate state. It hath been said, there arriveth a time when the chief turning point is reached. Fear not the bands of the peaceful and wrathful, who are thine own thought forms. 6. Oh now, when the bardo of taking rebirth upon me is dawning. One pointedly holding fast to a single wish. May I be able to continue the course of good deeds through repeated efforts. May the wound door be closed and the revulsion recollected. The hour hath come when energy and pure love are needed. May I cast off jealousy and meditate upon the Guru, the Father-Mother. 7.